Alright, we're back and we're talking about more Sister Street Fighter. Uh, these films get fucking nuts. This is one of these ones I'm like, oh yeah, no, these films are just utter craziness. Brutal, just fucking brutal. Just great martial arts. Just almost batshit insane. All round, just some great movies. Like, it's one of those things you look back at a film and you're like, no one would ever make this film ever today because it's just batshit. It's just, I'm gonna read IMDb. Helpfully here has a plot synopsis, which is quite helpful. So we're doing this is Sister Street Fighter: Hanging by a Thread, which is the second of 4 films. So there's a trilogy and then there's one that's a sequel, but it's not. The 4th one is weird. We'll get to that because it says it's like an unofficial one, but yeah, it has the same actress. This is a different character, but it's just like, okay, that's weird. It's like, this time Koryu heads to Yokohama in search for a woman named Biryu. I'm bad with pronouncing these names, so apologies to anyone I have offended. Kidnapped by drug smugglers who move their hot rocks by surgically implanting them into the... Nope. Sorry, I'm just going to get a pronunciation on this word.
Nooble.
The nooble buttocks of Chinese prostitutes. Koryu's older sister, working as a jewelry designer, is secretly, if unhappy, involved with the gangsters. Yeah, this is just... That's our intro to the film. Or basically the start... Not the start, yeah, the synopsis of the film. And yeah, no, it is just... It's insane. Like, it's really hard to describe for someone who's maybe never seen like some 70s like Japanese martial arts films, but they're nuts and I love it, honestly. Like, and also if you have a problem with paying attention to a film, watch one of these films, because yeah, apparently they I mean, not apparently, they are just like fucking just next scene. You're like, you're just like, they're just fucking insane. I did want to point this out because I didn't notice something. Apparently there's an edit in the UK version, which weirdly I wouldn't be a for, but this one I'm very much approving of. Is this says, for the 2019 Arrow UK release, which I believe is this one I hold in my hand. Check the copyright. Does it have a copyright of this year? No, but I believe I got it. No, but it's an Arrow UK release, so I'm going to say yes. It's Arrow because it's got the UBFC. A section filmed in one of the villain's layers was optically reframed to put out of a shot a large photo of a rather younger naked girl reclining on a settee. This photo was deemed to be indecent and in a breach of the Protection of Children Act in 1978. Yeah, I guess that's one of those things where some might consider it art, but then you're like, oh. No, but I didn't notice about that edit. So that's an interesting bit of trivia where it's they actually went back to edit that out. Yeah, like I said, this film is just utterly nuts. I'm trying to think of how best to approach this, because, like, so this is the first one, I guess, without Sonny Chiba, who was obviously in all the Street Fighter films and the first Sister Street Fighter film, as I guess a way to of kind of almost passing the torch of yeah, making sure that these ones are like, yeah, well, they're not weird. They're not connected. I feel like a lot of films, obviously, are like they have so many of them, but yeah, they are sometimes just not connected. It's like you think about like Godzilla films. A lot of them are just not connected in any way, and half the time ignore stuff from the previous films. You're like, oh, okay, no, that's fine. But yeah, this time she's got to save her sister. So I'm gonna go into some spoilers in here. Spoilers. She does not. So this is another sibling that is also dies in this film. So the first film, we had a sibling who died. A brother died. She's trying to track down him, and this time she's trying to track down her sister. Well, she not tries to track down. She does trying to get her sister out of the gang. Because they're basically evil. And yeah, that doesn't work. They brutally, like honestly, really brutally blind her. Get her to walk out, and then you end up killing her. I've just got the film here, like watching in the background, so I can like pull out some stuff to, and also give myself a bit of a reminder of it. But yeah, no, I think this one. The last one was pretty brutal, but I think this one definitely steps it up in the brutal category. Like I said, I take these films as they are. They are like there are quite a few, like I'd say, trigger warnings to these films. So I'd understand if someone was like, "Hey, I don't want to watch that." I'm like, fair enough, honestly. But there's some badass martial arts. Some, yeah, maybe effie scenes. Yeah, a lot of the female characters, other than our lead, don't get treated the best. So yeah, you might want to skip it there. But because it is literally like, yeah, the lead's a woman, but you know, most other characters aren't. There is one person I thought was possibly a, if not a trans actor, a trans character. So I need to remember what their character's name is. Look them up, see if I can find some information, because that I mean, to be fair, that kind of shocked me. But then I forgot, like, being trans is also like a more recent talking point for a lot of conservatives, because you know they can't point the blame at actual problems, you know, like capitalism, yeah, or themselves. So they have to point it out at, you know, big business owners. Yeah, no, they can't. They have to do distraction politics. Oh no, trans people, they're the reason you don't have a job. No, wait, what? But yeah, honestly, if you want some really good like fight scenes, I mean, yeah, they're quite brutal. I mean, this is quite like this one here is this strong, containing strong bloody violence, scenes of a sexual scene of sexual assault. Yeah, so they're brutal. Like honestly, they are quite brutal. And I do get a little bit lost in these films, because there's like a lot of stuff sometimes going on. I'm like, who was this? Huh? There's so many characters that like they constantly kill off, and you're like, oh, here's this character who, no, they're dead, and there's this character, no, they're dead as well. Yeah, evil criminal organization that goes up against the, I guess this Koyu, and they end up losing. She does kind of team up with like a guy who's you think is a villain, but ends up not being. I think he's supposed to track her down and kind of switch his sides. He's pretty cool. Yeah, honestly, I do lose track of characters a lot of times. Like that. And then it kind of ends similar to how the first film ends, where they jump up into the air, do a little bit of fights, and then that's it. It's a weird one. It's weird. and I enjoyed it. I don't know what it is. Something about these films are just so mad that I can't help but not like them. I think is the best way to to phrase that. But yeah, honestly, I'm loving this set at the moment. And yeah, next time we're going to be talking about the return of Sister Street Fighter. Very much similar to the return of the Street Fighter, which was the same title they gave the third film of that series. Yeah, now I say to you, live long and prosper, and I see you next time for more Sister Street Fighter.